I'm here with Oli Barrett, whose idea it was to make your mark with a tenner. Oli, for those who don't know, what's it all about?
Well, Make Your Mark with a Tenner was a national experiment and a national competition to see what would happen when we gave 10,000 school pupils all across the UK a £10 note and a month to see what they could do with it.
Spend it, I would have thought.
Well, maybe invest it, maybe club together with some other people to try and make something happen. So we saw a huge range of ideas, but really we were saying if you want to use it to make money, then that's okay, but if you want to use it to make a difference in your local area, then we welcome that as well. So we were looking for all sorts of ideas, really.
And what sort of ideas have you had?
Well, I've just been sort of overwhelmed, really. I mean, we had one team of girls in London who decided to record and write and sell a CD single. So that was a terrific success, and they made quite a lot of money doing that. Up in Manchester, we were very lucky. BBC Newsnight covered a team who made origami, so folding paper and selling contracts to restaurants all over Manchester around Chinese New Year and Valentine's. That was a very good idea too, so we're very impressed with that. But all sorts of things. So as you might expect, quite a lot of baking of cakes and quite a lot of car washing going on, but lots of imagination. That's what we were really looking for.
And Oli, have you got any of this £100,000 actually back?
Well, it is coming back, Katie. I'm quietly confident it won't all come back, but that's okay, because what we really wanted them to do was experience how fun it could be to work in a team, to have great ideas and make those happen. And so if not all of it comes back, we're not going to be too upset, provided they've had a great time and learnt how fun making their own ideas can happen, can actually be.
So what's the idea behind it, and where are you going next? The next big Oli idea?
Well,
we should be told.
Well, it certainly wasn't me doing it. I mean, I might have been conjuring it up at some point, but I was working with a national campaign for enterprise called Make Your Mark, so they were incredibly helpful, and we had a fantastic events team and PR team making it happen. What was the first question? No, the first question was what's happening now, really, isn't it? Yeah. Well,
yes.
Yeah, that's a good question. No, what was the first question? No, you asked another question. You didn't want to edit this, did you? No. Right, don't worry, we're on. Well, ideas have been flooding back in, so that's very positive. And what was the point of it? Well, that was the question. Sorry, I'm back on it. The point of it really was to say that first and foremost, tenner on its own doesn't grow very quickly, does it? 4p a month or something like that if you put it in a bank account, pathetic. 7p if you put it in the American stock market, rubbish. And so we said, well, combine it with ideas and a bit of energy, anything can happen. Well, you could certainly think about doubling it, can't you, even in a month? So that was the first thing. The second thing was, I feel very strongly that if you want to learn something, you're better off by doing it rather than reading about it in a book or even from a lecture. So for me, it was about actually getting up on your feet and making something happen. And the final thing was to say that even with a small amount of money and in a small amount of time, you can still achieve something, and so why not start there and see what happens. So I've had loads of notes and messages from the people that took part and the schools and other businesses saying, well, it might just be small, it might be the thin end of a wedge, but very interested to see what happens next. So to answer the final part of your question, we'd love to do it again next year. We'd love other businesses to get involved and really try and keep it as light-hearted as possible. It is an experiment, it's supposed to be fun, and we welcome other people getting involved.